Welcome back. I have a story for you, and I'm so eager to share it with you that I haven't even bathed. I still have white paint all over my body, white paint all up in my hair. I'm not wearing any makeup. Shut up. This is an important story. I have not felt so strongly about something since my psycho roommate. This is serious. It's just so crazy to me how every once in a while you run into somebody who just sucks so fucking much. I met that person today, and it was probably one of the shittiest people I've met in a very long time. I know I love to use this word, but what a fucking psychopath. Let me start from the beginning. Okay. I get called to do things, cameos in movies or sketches, stuff like that. So I got called to set to do this cameo for this movie that I'm not gonna mention the name of it. Basically, they called me last minute. They asked me if I can come in, and I say, you know, what's wardrobe and stuff, and they say, come in clothes that you would party in, something you feel comfortable and sexy in. I did it with Liza, and Liza and I both bring, you know, high-waisted jeans and like little jackets and like cute clothes that we'd go out in. We get there, and we are wearing full-fledged Halloween costumes that they bought. You know, we're just like, okay, whatever. Change of costuming, there must have been a miscommunication at some point, whatever. But the biggest plot twist here is that they decided to tell us on set that we were being painted completely white. Face, hands, feet, legs, like my legs, I'm not wearing pants right now where I would show you, are still completely painted white because I didn't even try to take it off yet. But you know what? Sometimes in acting, you have to do some really random shit that you didn't know about and you weren't expecting, and you just do it. So I don't complain about it. I'm just sort of like, okay, let's get painted. So I sit down in this chair. I have like 3 different people painting my body head to toe white. I look around and there's all of these actors getting painted at the same time. So I was like, wow, there are a lot of makeup artists on this set. Usually a set only has a few, and there were so many. There were like 10 people getting painted at a time, 3 people painting each person. There were so many makeup artists. So I'm just like making small talk. This woman is painting my feet, and I asked, so are you guys all makeup artists? Because realistically, they were just painting us white. It's not like they were doing any type of crazy makeup or even glam. They were literally just painting our bodies white. You don't need to really hire a makeup artist to do that. But again, I'm just like making small talk. Seemed like a reasonable question. So were you guys all makeup artists? This woman behind me said, oh no, we're actually all PAs. So I was like, oh really? And she was like, no, we're all professional makeup artists. And I was like, oh no, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I just meant there's so many of you. And I can see why that would be insulting because it kind of sounded like I was saying, oh, anybody can do your job. That's not what I meant. It was just like my words got kind of twisted. I apologized, and I was like, sorry if that offended you. That's not what I meant at all. So then they're using these sponges to paint me white, and I need to be on set in like 5 minutes. So that woman, let's call her Julie. She came over with this spray can, so instead of sponging it on, you can spray it. And she goes, okay, hi, I'm Julie. I'm actually the head of the makeup department. This is what we do in a makeup department. So we're gonna spray you. And I was like, okay, cool. And she goes, what I'm gonna ask you to do is take a really deep breath in and then out. So as I start breathing in really deeply, she starts spraying me in the face with the paint. So I inhale this huge mouth and nose full of paint. And I start coughing and I start laughing it off because I would never think that she would do that on purpose. But I just laugh it off and I'm like, oh my God. And she, in the most condescending voice she could possibly use, said, is this your first acting job? No bitch, it's not, but it is my first time getting sprayed in the face with fucking white paint. But I didn't say that. I was actually really calm about it, and I tried to laugh it off, and I said, well, no, but I consider myself a YouTuber. And she says, oh, I wouldn't say that too loud. Okay. So I said, well, I'm not embarrassed to be a YouTuber. I make a really good living and I have fun doing what I do every day. I love my job. And then she says, oh, no, sweetie, I didn't mean it like that. It's just that most YouTubers are trying to legitimize their career by becoming real actors. Legitimize my career, because what I do isn't a real career. You know, I don't make money doing it, and I don't work really hard every day to do what I'm doing, and you know, it's not like social media stars are competing on Dancing with the Stars and winning Teen Choice Awards. Yeah, none of that. Completely not legit at all. So I try to keep my cool at this point still, and I say, well, acting isn't really my primary focus. Everybody has different goals, but I feel really secure and happy in my career. And she's like, oh yeah, of course sweetie, of course. So then she keeps making these snide comments, like multiple comments throughout the rest of the morning as I'm getting ready, where she just like pops in and says things like, oh, good thing I'm a real makeup artist. Like clearly so offended by this fucking comment that I didn't mean anything by. I did not mean to insult the profession of makeup artistry at all. But the one that really set me off after like 20 digs, I'm not exaggerating, she kept digging at me, was another woman came up and talked to me and she was like, oh, do you do a lot of projects like this? And she literally butts in front of me and goes, oh, she's not an actress, she's a YouTuber. Still keeping my calm, I turn to her and I say, I'm not really sure why you keep feeling the need to butt into my conversation, but you're clearly offended by something that I said earlier. I didn't mean it the way you took it. I'm very sorry if you were offended by what I said. I'm not used to seeing 30 to 50 makeup artists on set. I asked if you guys were makeup artists. You made a smart comment about being PAs. I said, oh really? And then you got really offended. So you can stop being so catty now as not only a professional, but just as an adult grown woman. Stop making bitchy childish comments. I think it's time for you to calm down. And she goes, I'm calm, I'm professional. And I said, actually, I think you might be the most unprofessional person I've ever worked with on any set ever. I walk away, like I can't deal with this fucking bitch. So there were a bunch of other YouTubers there as well. They came up to me afterwards because I wasn't gonna say anything about it. I was gonna drop it and they were like, thank you so much for saying something. She's been a bitch to us since we walked into this store. She has been so condescending, and as soon as we heard her start saying that shit to you, we were all offended. She's sitting here insulting YouTubers on a set filled with YouTubers as the cast. It was so... What a foolish thing to do. I feel like this is sort of like my worst hotel experience video, where if you just don't belittle people's career. I'm not belittling you for fucking painting people white for a living. Don't belittle me for fucking making videos. You don't even... And okay, I know that I have a lot of anxiety issues, I have a lot of anger issues, and a lot of times I do overreact. I'm always very conscious of that, and I make sure that I step outside of the situation and I figure out, you know, is this me being irrational and upset, or is this me behaving appropriately? But I knew from the reaction of everybody else there, like the other YouTubers who were standing right there watching everything go down, the fact that they were like, this woman has been a bitch to us since we got here, I can't believe that she was saying those things to you, that made me feel a lot better about the situation, because I was like, okay, so I'm not crazy, I was justified, because I let her dig at me for a long time. She made a lot of comments to me before I was finally like, okay, clearly you're offended, and address the situation. But here's the part that was so crazy to me, not on a personal level, but on a professional level. So my hair was clipped back into this little clippy while they were spraying me. As you can see, all of this is white. It's not supposed to be white. They were supposed to like take the white out of my hair because my skin was supposed to be white. My hair's not supposed to be white. My face, entire face was completely flushed out white and it was in my hair. I was supposed to be wearing this black mask, and also they were supposed to put color on my lips, color on my cheeks, and then play up this eye with a bunch of black eyeliner and stuff, and I knew that. They told me what I was supposed to look like, and I was holding the mask in my hand. The guy comes over to me, one of the ADs, he goes, hey, we need you on set right now. And I was like, my hair and makeup isn't finished yet. And he goes, all right, hold on one sec, let me get the makeup artist. Calls the makeup artist over, fucking Julie, and he says, hi, we need to get her finished ASAP. She needs to be on set now. She looks at me and she goes, I think she looks great. Send her to set. And I said, well, my hair's still in a clip. I need a hairbrush. And she goes, no, I think it looks good. Send her to set. And I looked at him and I said, I'm not going to set with my spray paint hair clip in my hair. And he looks at her and she goes, no, she's approved. Send her to set. And then I look at him and I go, I would feel more comfortable if I was able to brush my hair before walking onto what is supposed to be a professional set. She says, oh, well, I don't think you should brush your hair. Go ahead. She's good. She's approved. She doesn't need anything else. And I was like, I'm not going on set without brushing my hair. If you don't want to brush my hair, you can give me a hairbrush. She goes, I don't have a hairbrush. And I was like, so you're the hired professional hair and makeup person as you've established, but you don't have a hairbrush? For a makeup artist to intentionally send somebody onto set looking bad and not how they're supposed to for like spiteful personal reasons, you deserve to not have a career. The fact that I was completely whited out with no eyes, no lips, no cheeks, my hair still in a fucking half gray, messy clip, and she was sending me in on stage, that looks bad on you. So then one of the other guys comes over and he's like, what's going on here? And I was like, she refuses to give me a hairbrush. And he's like, she needs to be on set now. Like, give her a hairbrush. So she gives me a hairbrush, which I thought she didn't have. and I'm brushing my hair. Now she's trying to act so sickeningly sweet in front of these people, and she's like, oh honey, let me help you with your mask. The mask that she tried to send me onto set without because apparently I didn't need it. So finally the director comes over and I'm like fuming at this point. I don't even want to be here. I'm covered in white paint. I did not sign up for this. I'm trying to be a good sport and I have this fucking bitch trying to and he asked what's wrong. So I never do this, but honestly, I was so offended and angry at this woman, and I straight up told him, I have never met somebody on set who was so unprofessional. This woman just insulted me for 20 minutes, belittled my profession, was so condescending, so rude. I can't even believe that this is happening. And then she goes, can I tell you my side of the story? And he goes, stop. We are not doing this. Attention everybody. I know that you may not know who these people are, but if you forgot, I started on YouTube. I am a YouTuber. So you may not know who they are, but you will respect each other. Liza comes over and she has like this full face of white makeup, the way it's supposed to be done. Cheeks and lips and eyelashes, all this crazy stuff going on. And then he points at me and he goes, she is supposed to look like her. She was trying to send me out there just fucking white face. Which you don't do in theater anyways because you are completely washed out on screen. Whatever, over it. Anyways, I just had to get that off my chest because that story was really bothering me. Please let me know in the comments below if anything like this has ever happened to you and if you think that I was being irrational, because frankly, I'm irrational a lot of the time. But this time, I don't think that I was too far off base. Give this video a thumbs up and please make sure to subscribe to my channel because I love you very, 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 very much. And it's time for Showstopper of the Week. This week's Showstopper of the Week is Tori. This girl is hardcore. Like, you can just look at her Twitter. It's all retweets of my page. And she also runs a really cool Instagram account. And I really appreciate all of my Instagram fan accounts and especially my Instagram followers. I love you all very much. Thank you for following me on Instagram. But yeah, she's just hardcore. I love her. So show her some love. Give her a follow. She's really dope. If you want to be my Showstopper of the Week, just make sure you're interacting with me often. That means you're liking my pictures on Instagram, you're sharing my videos on Facebook, retweeting and favoriting my tweets and revining, etc., etc., etc. I usually follow back the first people to favorite and retweet my tweets, so make sure you have my post notifications turned on for Twitter, Instagram, Vine, and YouTube. As always, I love you very much, and I'll see you next week.